You've done this before. You're standing in front of someone. They clearly recognize you. And your brain? Nothing. No first letter. No, it's on the tip of my tongue. Just gone. And now comes the performance. You stall. You smile. You ask a question you don't need answered, hoping, quietly, that someone else says their name first. Because forgetting a name doesn't feel minor. It feels like you just failed at being a normal person. But here's what's actually happening. When you meet someone new, your brain is overloaded. It's reading their face, tracking tone, judging the situation, figuring out, where do I stand? What do I say next? All of that is happening inside your working memory. A limited system in the prefrontal cortex that can only hold a few things at once. And right in the middle of that cognitive traffic, they give you their name. Now here's the problem. A name is one of the least meaningful types of information your brain can receive. And there's actual research behind that. In 1987, psychologists McWeeny and Ellis demonstrated something now known as the Baker paradox. They showed participants the same face. One group was told, "This man is a baker." The other group was told, "This man's name is Baker." Days later, the first group remembered it far better. Same word, completely different retention. Because baker, as a job, connects to a network. Bread, ovens, mornings, routine. But baker as a name? It connects to nothing. It just sits there, unattached. And your brain does not keep things that are unattached. It prioritizes meaning, emotion, connection. A name has none of those by default. So it gets dropped. Not because you didn't care, but because your brain made a relevant judgment in real time. Now here's where it becomes more personal. People who consistently forget names tend to share something else. They're not disengaged. They're internally preoccupied. There's a phenomenon called the next-in-line effect, first described by psychologist Malcolm Brenner in 1973. It showed that when people are waiting for their turn to speak, their memory for what the previous person said drops significantly. Why? Because they're already rehearsing what they're about to say. They're not listening. They're preparing. And if you're someone who overthinks social interactions, that state never really turns off. While someone is saying their name, your brain is busy asking, "Am I coming across right? Did that sound awkward? What should I say next?" So the name doesn't just fade. It never fully lands. And later, this is the strange part. You remember everything else. What they said, how they said it, the exact feeling of the interaction, but not the name. Because your memory isn't a recording device. It's a filter. It stores what's emotionally charged, what's surprising, what connects to something you already know. Everything else is optional. So when you forget someone's name, it doesn't mean they didn't matter. It means their name didn't attach to anything meaningful at the time. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think, "I have a bad memory." But that's not accurate. You don't have a memory problem. You have an association problem. And the moment you fix that, everything changes. Repeat the name. Link it to an image. Connect it to someone you already know. You're not trying harder. You're doing manually what your brain only does automatically for meaningful things. So no, forgetting names doesn't make you careless. It means your brain is prioritizing differently, focusing on tone, emotion, nuance, the things that actually define a person. And maybe that's the part worth keeping. Because a name is just an entry point. But the way someone felt to you, that's what your brain decided was worth remembering.